Hey Brony, Monday Night Podcast here, and there's another podcast, and I'm with Digibrony, Subtly Awkward, and Cobaltsky7. Say hello,
Hello.
everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Very energetic. uh, so straight on to the first question. Well, topic. Why is Celestia only a princess? Why is she not a queen? Because, well, yeah. What do you think?
In the original by Lauren Faust, she originally wanted her to be a queen, but I believe it was Hasbro's decision to knock them down to princesses.
Yes.
That's kind
Yeah,
of
that's
stupid.
But they
No,
basically do rule all of Equestria, so why are they not queens?
There's the reason for it is that they saw it as in popular media. Usually, the queen is the bad guy and the princess is the good guy. Like if you look at Disney movies,
Yeah,
there's always
Disney.
the main character is the princess, the evil stepmother or queen or whatever is usually evil. You notice that the only time that the word queen is used in the show, it's for Queen Chrysalis, who's a bad guy. So it's just that perception that made them decide that that Celestia should be a princess.
Way to
But she
get
has
through
all
the
the powers of a
cliches.
queen.
Way to get through the cliches, Hasbro.
Yeah.
So I never thought of that. I just tried to think of something much more complicated, like her parents are still alive or something.
No.
That's
Good
why you
appetite.
have us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's me going like in too much detail and just dumb it down for me. Thank you. Okay, so that's the first one out of the way, I guess. Okay. Okay, the second one. I'm not sure if I already asked the second one, but I'm gonna ask it anyway because I'm not exactly too sure. But what do you think would happen to the Brony community if Hasbro like stopped this MLP, like just stopped making it?
I'm pretty sure that they've already said it a million times. Like if they ever stopped making MLP, that the fans would either try to pick up the original license for it, or they would just keep going on with so much of their own fan animations that they would have enough content to keep themselves entertained.
Right. Obviously, if the show ends, there's gonna be some loss of fans, but at the same time, most shows end and still have fandoms. Like a lot of the big fandoms that are still around today are for works that are finite, that aren't still coming out in some form. Like fans of any of the old sci-fi stuff, those shows are over, and those people are still going to conventions, still talking about them at length. And a lot of those shows got a lot bigger after they were already over, or they continue to get spin-offs and people keep paying attention to the new generations. MLP obviously has been running for 20 years plus, so even if Generation 4 ends, there's gonna be another My Little Pony not long afterwards. And, obviously the entire fandom is going to be curious, even if it turns out to suck and we all go, okay, now this is officially done. We're all going to probably check out the next My Little Pony show,
Equestria girl. No, I'm sorry.
And something I want to add on the end of that, I don't know if it's a coincidence or because Lauren Faust doesn't work on the show anymore, but if you look at all of Lauren Faust's previous work, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends and Powerpuff Girls, they all had exactly 6 seasons.
Really?
Yeah.
But she also worked on other stuff like movies and stuff like
Oh yeah,
that.
she's worked on a lot of
She's
stuff.
worked
It's
on
just
movies?
Yeah, but I think he's saying like those were like more her direct work. Like those were her babies.
Yeah. They really weren't though, because she didn't make either of those shows. She was just on them. Like her husband is the one who created Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and I think Gendy Tartakovsky made Powerpuff Girls. That's the guy who made Samurai Jack and the Star Wars Clone Wars miniseries and Dexter's Lab.
We don't talk about that series.
no.
We pretend like it
series?
doesn't exist.
Wait, what? The Clone Wars
The-
miniseries?
Yes, that.
Not the CG one. I'm talking about the original animated one.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the CG one.
No.
No.
I was gonna be
Before
like, we
that,
don't
there
talk
was-
about that.
Tartakovsky did it was like 12 5-minute episodes. It was really short from back in like 2003. It was like it won an Academy Award for best like animated short series or something. It's a really great show. It was mostly just it was like almost constant fighting. It was just like really stylish action scenes and stuff. It's pretty cool.
The good old stuff. Okay, so wow, flying through these. What? Okay, so straight into the next one. What was your initial impression of the first ever MLP you ever saw?
Someone?
One second, I'm being yelled at. I'm recording. Yeah. Okay. Has anyone said anything yet?
Repeat the question.
Alright, okay. What was your initial impression of the first ever MLP episode you've ever seen?
As in of the current show, yes?
Yeah, this generation, currently.
Anybody else want to answer?
Wait, what? Repeat the question?
He's asking what was your impression of the first episode of MLP that you saw?
Yeah.
On the first episode I ever saw, I mean, I was a little hesitant towards it at the beginning, but I was surprised that at the end of the episode, it was one of the shows that had pulled me into to where when it ended, I was not even aware that 22 minutes had gone by. It's kind of one
Which
of
episode
those
was it? What was the first one you saw?
The first episode I ever saw was episode 5 of the first season.
Griffin the Brush Off?
No, that's 4. I think.
No, that's 5.
No,
Applebuck
it's
season's
5.
4.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was Griffin the Brush Off.
I just thought bright colors. Sorry. I have no deep thought on it whatsoever.
Well, what episode did you start at? Did you just start from episode 1? Like
Yeah.
what I did? Well, my first initial impression, I thought it was when I was actually forced to sit down and watch it.
You were forced?
Well, yeah, a Canadian friend told me he would hunt me down and beat me if I didn't watch it. So,
Jesus.
so I just thought, I'm just I'll see what it's like. So many people have said how amazing it is. So I was like, I'll sit down and watch it. But when it got to that on the first ever episode, when it got to that storybook bit, I was like, I thought it was a bit cheesy for my liking. I was like, I'll just go through it. But then after watching it, I was like, wow. It just ended up watching the first season then in there. So I just fell straight in love with it. And you, Digibrony?
Right. Well, the first episode that I watched was the first episode as well. Just sort of because I felt like, yeah, I forced my brother to watch it, and we just kind of sat there, and I didn't really have any kind of thought on it. I just thought it was, I recognized that obviously that it was a good show, but it didn't engage me at any level, I didn't watch the second episode until months later, so I just kind of watched it as a joke, mostly to make fun of my little brother. And I knew it was supposed to be good, and I wasn't going into it expecting it to not be good, but I didn't leave any impression on me. I didn't remember anything about it.
So you originally watched it just to diss
It
your
was
brother?
just we were just bored. We were really bored sitting in his room, and I kept hearing about the show, and I hadn't really wanted to watch it by myself. I was just like, oh, I'll just make Shade watch this, and he had no idea at the time. This is he started finding out about it a little bit later because of Funny Junk, but at the time he didn't know about it, so he was just like, "What is this? What are you doing? Why are you watching this?" And I forced him to sit through the whole first episode. He kept asking, the whole time he was resistant.
You just made him sit there and watch it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of weird how a lot of the stories about how people started into it was influenced by somebody else.
Yeah.
Mm. But then how did the first guy see it?
Yeah, exactly.
When I first watched My Little Pony, I didn't actually fully know how big the fandom was. When I actually got into the fandom, I was like, wow, this is big.
Yeah.
The biggest fandom I've ever been a part of.
Pulled down the rabbit hole.
Into Wonderland.
Mm.
So, okay, next topic is, do you think Celestia sending her sister to the moon for 1,000 years was a bit over the top?
Pretty sure what everybody thinks that was probably a little much.
You can't just send your sister there.
A lot of it was they don't really, you don't have really a full story on it, because all it tells you is she became a wicked mare of darkness and she sent her to the moon for 1,000 years for it.
Just toss
They
her
don't
into
really
the
have a whole
moon.
lot of information on it.
Yeah, it clearly wasn't. It didn't help. It really didn't help. It didn't teach Luna a lesson, right? She came back as Nightmare Moon. She didn't learn anything in those 1,000 years. She just got more and more angry.
But what is there to
So-
do for 1,000 years on the moon?
Exactly, but it's like she didn't try to reform her sister or teach her or I know that prisons in the real world are often not very effective, especially here in the United States, but the idea behind a prison is that it's supposed to be a correctional facility. You're supposed to actually change people to better fit into society in an ideal situation. And Celestia did as little of that as possible. She just slapped her on the moon, never said a word to her for 1,000 years, as far as we can tell. Just left her
They're
up there
like,
to
"What
stew in her
sister?"
own muck.
What sister? I have no sister.
So you may be able to live for a very long time, but I doubt you can survive 1,000 years without food. You're not immortal. That would have gone insane. Just nothing to do at all. Does anyone else want to add anything else to that?
Oh,
Nope.
Wait, okay, so yeah, actually I do. Because she turned into a wicked mare of darkness. That means any unicorn, or is it any unicorn, alicorn, whatever, could become something like that, right? Technically.
potentially, I guess.
Well, we've seen Celestia use some very dark magic when.
Yeah.
But it seems that
Sombra.
that she has control over the dark magic to where was supposedly supposed to possess Luna or something.
Yeah. It's definitely the kind of thing that we could, have our headcanons about and stuff, but there's no real way of saying until we have more information.
Until they actually tell us.
Princess Celestia is evil in the 4th season. Ha. Just goes
That'd be a
batshit insane.
That'd be a bit odd. Make Twilight a princess and then just go evil yourself.
There you go.
Okay. Wow, we're on the last question already. Didn't expect it to go this fast.
Everybody's exhausted.
Yeah.
Well, that's what not planning enough does.
Yeah, that is definitely my bad. So if it doesn't turn out this good, we're just gonna have to not upload this one and just wait for next week when it'll be definitely organised.
You could always just put out a short one. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah, no one's gonna.
It'll be a lot easier for people to watch. They won't have to sit
Yeah,
down
really,
for
these
2 hours.
2-hour things.
A lot
Yeah.
of people get bored very quickly.
Oh, I know I do.
Unless you have some kind of picture movement, because if you're just looking at a still image or, heaven forbid, a black screen, as I learned from a Q&A I did, people aren't very interested.
So
Yeah.
the only video I've ever watched that's been longer than an hour was Digibrony's Q&A things. Where
Yeah,
she
but
said something about it.
but we had video to watch with that. We weren't just staring into darkness.
Oh,
So it kept us there.
drunk
Well,
mode.
actually, podcast like audiobooks.
Yeah, that's true.
I've never listened to an audiobook, so
Audiobook My Little Dashie. You'll cry.
I probably won't. I'll probably just be really annoyed.
Have you not read it or?
I've read just a little bit, and I just hated it. I thought it was horrible.
Really? Why?
The main character is fucking atrocious. He's just annoying and emo.
I think that's the purpose.
Yeah, they kind of leave him blank, and I think what they were shooting for was you were supposed to get lost in the story and feel yourself in his place, because they don't give you any
Right.
information.
He's supposed to be relatable, but I don't relate to him at all. Everything he said just made me want to slap him, so it was really hard for me to read that.
And see, I was just going off of what other people have told me, because I haven't read it yet.
Right.
You definitely need to read it, or at least have do the audiobook thing with it.
What is reading?
Don't know.
Who reads anymore?
I used to read all the time. Now I'm just like, meh.
Okay, so on to the last topic. Do you think Hasbro are dumbing down the episodes because of the young audience?
No.
You don't?
No,
No.
they're pretty much still where they are. I mean, they have taken out some of the stuff. Like I can't really remember, but I don't think we've had a crazy episode. Like I think the Twilight one was the last one we had where they actually absolutely just went bonkers.
Like,
Yeah.
it turned kind of dark, like, that we haven't...
Well, it did that. I mean, Sleepless in Ponyville is pretty dark.
Oh yeah.
So is, yeah, I guess.
I'd arguably call that the darkest episode just because it's genuinely kind of terrifying. Like, Scootaloo's on the verge of death in most of that episode.
Even then, people haven't.
I don't know, I think Pinkie Pie's was more terrifying, because she just
Oh yeah, the whole ending bit.
Definitely.
lost it.
But even you see Fluttershy go crazy at the gala.
Yeah, but Fluttershy going crazy was more anger. Twilight was stress, but Pinky's was just flat out nuts.
She just kind of lost it.
She made new friends too fast.
Yes. I'd be down there in a bit. Sorry about that. You truly picked impeccable timing, Twilly. Truly, I swear.
I am difficult
Everybody's
like this.
yelling at somebody.
Well, you
I'm
know,
just
it's
sitting here
like
taking-
I've got about 3 friends over. They're doing something in my room. I don't even know what they're doing. Looks like they're looking for Super Nintendo games, and my grandma's calling me to get some food, and I was playing Ocarina of Time.
So I think that's my favourite Legend of Zelda game. Was the Ocarina of Time.
I like Majora's Mask.
Mm.
I'll probably play that next.
I think it's the best out of all of them. I love Majora's Mask.
Well, the Ocarina of Time is the only one I've actually properly played through.
I obviously need to add these games to my list because I haven't heard of them.
How
You don't
can
know about Majora's Mask?
How can you not hear of them?
I don't know.
Do you live
Wait,
under a rock?
I'm legitimately curious because Ocarina of Time is possibly the most famous game ever. So
Yeah.
I'm very curious about how you've never heard of The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
I must live under a rock or something because I haven't heard of them. I've heard of The Legend of Zelda, but
Well, if you hear about Zelda, you're probably hearing about Ocarina of Time
just
because that's
not
the one everyone
recognizing it.
talks about.
So many Zelda games.
There's not actually that many. Not as many as like Final Fantasy or something.
Even Mario's just got 100 games now.
Oh God, Mario's got
Well,
Oh,
Legend of
man.
Zelda has 16 games now, so
yeah.
Didn't Mario start off with that Donkey
it's up there
Kong?
in the Final Fantasy number. And they're all connected.
Okay,
Somehow.
So it looks like we're on to the Q&A question. I'm going to ask you all. I think we're going to start with... We're going to start with Cobalt.
Yay. See if I can muck this one up too.
Well, okay. So from the elements of harmony, which one suits you more? Which one do you think you
Which-
would be?
Well, I would definitely think I would be the element of loyalty, and not just saying that because Rainbow Dash is my favorite character, but I've always been loyal, and I think loyalty is a very big trait for anyone because you can be honest, you can have laughter, you can be fun, and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, if the person you're with or whoever you're relating that element to dumps you in a ditch and just leaves you there, not loyal to you, what kind of friend is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. You actually said more than a sentence.
I don't know where my head was at in the last time. Obviously not here.
Digibrony definitely stole the show last time.
Yeah.
No, but that was good information. In the last one, I was taking all the information in because it was really good information.
Thank you.
Syndication.
Yeah, I was just telling him earlier. I've heard of syndication, but I had no idea you had to have all those certain episodes and those rules, and it was good to know.
Yeah.
don't think many people knew that, to be honest. Everyone learned a little thing.
Well, unless they had seen my video where I explained it already.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them until this podcast, until the first time I
Right.
saw your podcast. Then I started watching your videos. I didn't even know, which are all very informative.
So
Yeah, I feel like I'm watching a documentary when I watch his stuff.
so from
I
my
hope that's a good thing, because personally I find documentaries boring, so I don't know if I would take that as a
I like
compliment.
documentaries,
So I
so
watched
it's
them.
good.
It's a compliment because you're not sitting there for an hour or 2 hours.
Yeah.
They're short and sweet and to the point,
yeah.
Right.
and that's all.
And
it
they don't
takes.
have that really weird music that they play in the background that you feel like you're in an elevator.
So from my understanding, I thought like Digibrony was like the biggest thing to the MLP community. Well, YouTube side anyway.
Except I'm brand new though. That's the funny thing.
Wait,
You know, I've only been around for 2 months.
what? How have you got
Yeah.
so many views? Well, subs?
I don't know.
You're definitely doing
People
something
like-
right.
Because people don't like to sit there and rip everything down to its last little bit themselves. They like other people to do it for them.
That's the point.
Like, I would explain this to you, but how about you watch this instead?
This person knows everything. He will teach you the way. Okay, so subtly awkward. Same question for you.
Cobalt kind of stole mine because, though I don't really like Rainbow Dash, I mean, as I like her character, but I think if I knew her, I think I would probably strangle her because of her ego more often than anything. But loyalty is a big thing with me and my friends, and you don't come between me and my friends. I will kill you if you try to hurt them in any shape or form.
Oh dear.
I'm very, very protective over my friends. They're important.
Digibrony,
Well-
you?
As for me, mine's gonna be honesty. Pretty much the only thing I really pride myself in. So, yeah, I'm going with that.
And see, that's where I have a hard time because honesty and loyalty, they're both so great and they go neck and neck. It's kind of hard to pick between the two.
Yeah, I mean,
And they have a tendency to conflict with each other as well.
right.
They can.
I mean, I definitely will be honest before I will be loyal. So, yeah, I would not say that I would if you were to say, well, which other ones do you embody? Loyalty would not be my strongest one. I mean, I don't go around betraying people or anything, but I do not really consider myself loyal to anything. But I do, except, you know, I guess I would consider myself loyal to honesty. But that's about it.
It's good enough.
It is good enough.
And if not honesty, I'm going to pick magic.
Why
I think we all
magic?
like to have a bit of magic.
I almost picked magic instead, because, well, you know, friendship is magic. I think I'm pretty pro at friendship. I've got a hell of a lot of friends, and they're all pretty great. And I'm pretty good at bringing out what's great about each of them, kind of like Twilight Sparkle is with her friends. So I do like to think that I could be the element of magic. But I don't know, honesty just seems more like something that I really do put effort into being honest in a way that is similar to the way Applejack does so.
Yeah, it's good.
It is good. Me personally, I'd probably have to be laughed up, because if my friend's like feeling down or if he's upset, I always just make him laugh, like make him smile in a way. Always feel happy when I'm able to get someone to smile back to me in a way.
Yeah, it's funny because I relate to Pinky and I relate to her, you know, desire to make everyone smile. But I can't really be laughter because I'm not that funny. I'm kind of a downer, you know. Like I feel like I do have friends who are better embody laughter, where when they're around, everyone's having a good time just because that guy's there. I'm not that guy. I can come into a group that's having fun and I can just sour it, you know. So I think I'm pretty much fail at laughter.
Oh. So I'm just that typical jolly fat man, you'll see. He's always happy. As long as you feed me.
Are you sure you're not disgusting.
I'm pretty sure he's laughter.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Yeah, point proven there.
Yes. So that's everything. Thank you for joining me, even though it went well for not being organised at all.
Yeah, I mean, at least you have a shorter one, and
Yeah.
people don't have to feel like they have to sit through another. Because for me anyway, because so many people have been getting me to be in their like podcasts and this and that, and I have to go about saying, to what extent am I going to promote each of these things that I'm in, right? So like I put a link. The last podcast, I really enjoyed it, so I put a link to it at the end of a video. That's automatically means it's going to get a shitload of views, which it did. It has like 700. I checked a minute ago.
Yeah.
Not bad, right? So,
Yeah.
so if I'm going to promote a bunch of podcasts and stuff that people have me in, I have to think how much do the people who are watching my videos who are likely to go, because someone who's going to go and watch another 2-hour podcast with me, those are going to be the kind of people who already have watched my Q&As and stuff, because they clearly are into me enough that they're going to watch all this insanely long stuff that I'm a part of. So, like, I had some people got me to do a podcast with them the other day where they mostly just interviewed me, but it was almost all repeat questions from the Q&A. So that was a lot harder for me to promote and I told them, if you put timestamps in the description like I did with the Q&A, it'll be easy for me to promote it because I can say, here, if you've already heard me answer all these questions, you can just skip to the parts that you haven't heard before. But those guys didn't do that even after I suggested it. So then I thought, well, great, now I have to show this to people and tell them, well, good luck, maybe you'll find something in there that I haven't already talked about before, So I didn't really promote that at all. So with something like this right now, if we had done another 2-hour podcast, I'd be sitting here going, how many times do I need to link the people who watch me to other 2-hour videos, in between doing 8-hour streams almost every day this week. So
Ridiculous.
yeah, I did a lot of really long streams in the past like week and a half. So I don't necessarily want to always be linking someone to a 2-hour video. So if this one's only like, 25 minutes? I think I ran up another 5 just with this paragraph. But, yeah. I mean, I know it says 37 for the length of the conversation, but the first 10 minutes was like us waiting. So, yeah, I think this is only 25 minutes, right?
Yes.
That's a lot easier to show people.
It's easier, and like your idea you had, it's a lot nicer because you can scroll down, and if there's some questions that you personally don't really care about, and then there's other ones like, oh, I really want to hear this, you can just go straight there.
Right. That's what's great about doing timestamps. That's why I put so much effort into the timestamps in my videos.
Maybe I should start doing them then.
Yeah, it's definitely good, especially for something like this where, yeah, like he said, if there's questions you don't care about, then you don't want to. It's a lot easier to navigate. Like with this, again, 25 minutes not that bad. I could sit down and just listen to a whole 25-minute thing. When you get up to like an hour to 2 hours, that's when it's like, okay, I just want to hear the parts that are relevant. The parts that I don't, skip the parts I don't care about.
But the only problem is having to sit through your own 2-hour video, just timing all the stamps down.
Yeah.
It's like just getting annoyed at your own voice through the recording.
Oh, trust me, I am so sick of my voice from all my videos because I do the timestamps in all of them. So that whole 8-hour Q&A, I did timestamps through that entire thing.
So I don't think
there was at least one time where I had to redo it because I forgot to save and then lost it all, and like the power went out and I lost my notations.
Yeah, still to this day, I have not been able to sit through one of my own videos.
I've sat through mine like countless times, so because
I can't do it.
You have the
I always want to keep remember it, because people will ask me questions about videos and it's like I need to know what I said, so I kind of have to rewatch some of them to like keep in mind what did I say about this anyways.
Yeah. So this has been great. It for a very unorganized thing, it lasted about a couple 20 minutes
Yeah.
And damn am I tired. Oh, so what's the times with all yous? I know like
It's 5:51 for me.
Yeah, same here.
I'm only at 251, but still.
Say it's 10:51 here.
Yay, time zones.
Yay, time zones. Oh. Well, this has been Monday Night Podcast, and thank you for tuning in. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.